What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Red Corner. You're with LG, Clem, Lesta, James, and myself. What's happening, fellas?
All good, man. What's up?
All good. The transfer window just
I got
shut now.
5 on it.
Stay humble, eh? Stay humble, eh? Stay humble.
Stay humble.
Stay humble, eh? Well, you took us there. You took us there. Have your moment. Have your moment. You were missing last week anyway, so have your moment, bro.
Manora. What's happening, eh?
Are you still Arteta out?
This is the happiest we're going to see.
That doesn't change. That's not going to change. But we can celebrate moments, right? Guys, how many times have we seen these guys give us a young 6-3, 6-2, 5-1, 4-1, Aguero hat-trick, Yaya Toure brace, Jaco this? Guys, it's about time. It's about time. I think, okay, I mean, we pressed them early in the first half. We went up 1-0. I don't know what Akanji was doing. He just had to clear the ball. Just goof it.
Bro.
Right?
That's their past 2 games. Their past 2 games, their first goal conceded was just nonsense.
Exactly. And straight away I knew that, okay, if you concede early against us, you're screwed. Because we know how to park a bus properly.
Yeah,
right?
It was a minute and something in.
Yeah.
Quick.
Fine. Okay, we get to halftime. It's still 1-0. And then we concede. Right? And Mr. Stay Humble scored. I'm like, oh, crap. Here we go. Right? And the momentum was sort of
celebrating.
You know? Exactly. Momentum was starting to shift. I was like, okay, I think we could be in trouble here because they're starting to get a grip on the game and everything. And then Phil Foden, you know, was our 12th man with an amazing assist for Thomas Partey there. So Partey intercepts, hits the ball off the back of John Stones' back into the net. As soon as that goal went in, I knew it was done. It was that they were not coming back. It was done. I think they got some momentum and we sort of popped that balloon very quickly. They were gone. And then from there, basically, it was a case of, can we please batter these guys? Because every single time on the break, we look threatening. So as soon as the third went in, I'm like, good shot, 4. Fourth goes in. I'm like, guys, 5. It just has to be 5. We cannot end this game as on 5. You know, the guys are diddling on the left, whatever. Ethan Ori is free up there. I'm seeing him. He's calling for the ball. Declan Rice with a worldie of a pass. First time. Bah! Lad controls it. Cuts in. Boop! Goalkeeper stuck on his foot. Far corner. 5. 5. It was brilliant. Good performance. 5-star performance. What does that mean for the league title and the title race? Mathematically, we're still in it.
What it means is that you guys are a bit better placed for your top 4 challenge. That's what it means.
Basically, that's just about the long and short of it, right? So, man. City has been terrible this season, and every time they face a team that actually has a go, they struggle, which is what we've done.
Something's going on with your camera there, bro.
Yeah, I can see it. Let me switch it off and switch it back on and see what happens.
Your camera's had enough. It's like it knows that there's no title charge. Yeah, it knows there's no
Can't take any of this nonsense.
Nah, it's all good. No, you're not. I won't lie. Like, I was watching it with hate in my heart. And like Haaland equalized, and then I was like, okay, cool, we've got a game here. The minute you guys went 2-1 up, it was just a wrap. It was a wrap. There was City was just not in the game, bro. I was just like, all right, these guys. So I would have said, at least, like, for me as an Arsenal hater, I would have said, at least if this was like a springboard for you guys to go and challenge Liverpool, but I know I've been down this road before. I'm not even going to get my hopes up. So we'll see. Liverpool plays the game in hand next week, right? And then it'll be...
No, they're playing Everton this week.
This week. Yes, because it's the double game week. It's the double game week now. All right, cool. So we'll see.
You never know. You never know. Liverpool, Everton, isn't that just one of those games?
Yeah,
you
and
never know, right?
And David Moyes, man, he's got those
Yeah.
guys. He's got those guys hustling, bro. Hustling for points, bro.
New manager bounce.
Yeah.
No, look, I mean, in the context of the league title, I think it's important that we don't shy away from the fact that the January window shut yesterday. Well, not yesterday, this week, and not a single player walked in.
Yeah. We'll talk about the
Yeah,
window. I think
so-
there's quite a few interesting things that happen there.
Yeah,
But,
but otherwise, I got 5 on it. Can
Nah,
pay you every week.
Bruh, I was going through my Twitter. And bruh, you'd think these guys won the World Cup, bruh. Like
That was embarrassing. That was shameful. But guys, it's all the pain. Like, do you remember Fernandinho chipping the ball in from edge of the box, top corner to make it 5-2? It's all that pain. All the Kun Aguero hat tricks. They beat us in a League Cup final.
Yeah,
It was all that pain that we've suffered from them.
he did a release, like
Just something, guys. Just get a hiding at least once. Just
Yeah, no, no, big up. Yeah, no, nah, you guys did your thing, bro. I can't even hate, bro. You guys did your thing.
No,
Yeah,
they
of
did.
course you
You
got
see,
hits.
no, that's how
You got it.
you know.
Lesta, maybe we're not Knicks.
But Arsenal, you know, shout out to Arsenal for once for like actually showing how something is done, you know, and like that's how you put away like a weak team, you know. That's
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
Chelsea could learn there. is
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
bro. You must
when
put
you
the small
smell
teams
blood.
I knew
away,
that
bro.
was going somewhere.
Bro, Lester, tell us, how is it that everybody has beaten City except you, man? How?
Keep that same energy. We're coming for you, man. United. Keep that same energy. Chief.
You guys can't
coming.
do anything to us. And that one I'm not even worried about. You guys,
Yeah.
Do you guys still think Chelsea's in the title race?
nah.
It's done. No, it's done for Chelsea.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. You guys are in the top 4 race.
Okay. Just making sure. Okay.
You found
I
Golden. So of course it's gone now.
Yeah. It's your fault. I mean, like,
My point is, we've been telling you.
yeah.
You guys have been trying to peer pressure us into the league, and we've been telling you we're not ready.
No.
here we are.
What happened was you were in a title race and then you fell out. That's what
Yes.
happened. It wasn't that
you were in your house.
it wasn't that you were never in a title race. You just fell out.
Were Chelsea's fans saying we're in the title race? No, we weren't.
The log was saying you were in a title race.
And you're Chelsea FC. Come on, man.
Bruh.
You know?
Chelsea.
Let me just jump out real quick. I can see I'm delaying a little bit.
All right, cool. Hey, bruh. I don't even want to talk about this club of ours, man. Hey. Sim the season. Simulate. Press that button. Sim.
It's not PlayStation,
It's
Chief.
not
It's not PlayStation, Chief.
But I do think, you know, on the United thing, I think we have to start asking. I don't know. Is it too soon to start asking questions about Amorim? The whole Kobe Mainu thing up front.
No,
I
look,
mean, he tried it in Europa League, sure, but then the verdict is still out for me over that.
Yeah.
decision.
Well, he was in the 10. He was in the 10 in the Europa League, and he played quite well. And then now he tried to play him in the striker. So Kobe Mainu is actually a striker. Do you know that? He's a striker. That's his position. That's what he. And then he was converted to midfield, like coming up. But he's naturally a striker.
So he's a midfielder. That's what I'm hearing.
in men's football, in senior men's football, yes, he's a midfielder.
In his current career and the contract that he's under, he's a midfielder. Yes.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm sure we'll see experiments in that 10. I think he was just trying to send a point. The window's open. There's rumors that he was telling Wilcox, my guy, I need a striker. I think he was just trying to send a point, and it didn't work. It obviously didn't work. But I think
We moved on to United already.
I could you bounced. We'll come back to Chelsea. We'll come back to Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So look for me, this man has been it's 3 months now, right? So for me, I think I've already said it. For me, 41 points. That's all we need. All we need. We go again next season. We go again next season. So he's trying different stuff, right? He tried it it was his fault, right? It didn't work. He tried something, it didn't work.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to say that he made a mistake. That's neither here nor there. Everybody makes mistakes. He made a mistake. It didn't work. Try something else.
Everybody
next
makes mistakes. Hey.
Are you hearing this?
Do you guys want to fire a guy? Do you guys want to fire a guy who's been in the job for 2 months, bro?
For not doing the best that he possibly can with what's available to him, including i.e. putting a midfielder as a striker, yes.
What is available to him? Because this guy's sitting in 13th, and when he joined, the team was in 13th. So what is available to him?
100 million on the bench.
The team that he found
It's a
is
team
13th.
there, Pen.
He's just got the way he found him.
Well, they didn't hire him to maintain the 18th, man. How?
Bro, so is he going to place the entire team?
Huh?
Is he going to replace the
No,
entire
it's not
team?
about the entire team, but like I
So
mean, at
then?
least three, 4 guys, bro. 3, 4 guys. Like so, the whole thing. I mean, even everybody knows at the club that this guy didn't have the players for his position, right? It's what they were fighting about with Dan Ashworth and all those guys, and why they were trying to avoid getting Ruben Amorim, because everybody, all the football people, had a consensus that this guy, we don't have the players for this guy. So we knew that, and whatever they made the decisions, the guy's here now, right? So now when he's here, we still know he doesn't have the players for him. You can't. Eric Ten Hag was talking about I'm not Harry Potter. You can't expect him to be Harry Potter, although Ten Hag had 70% of his team, so it was null and void. It was null and void.
Wait. Guys, I can understand someone implementing their system, trying some level of consistency in a starting lineup, and giving 2 or 3 games to see something is working. And if after all of that we're saying the system is failing in this one area over and over, or in these 2 areas over and over, I can understand. If I was to ask my United fans right now, where specifically is the system failing? Your answer is going to be the players are rubbish. Which ones?
All of them.
All of them.
Let me tell you. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Let's go through the squad. Onana. How's Onana? Is he good? Is he rubbish?
He's rubbish.
He's rubbish.
Cool. Fine. Next up, let's go from the Dalot. Is he good? Is he rubbish?
He's a decent player.
Wing backs, both of them.
Yeah,
They're
he's
decent
not a
players.
wing back.
They're not bad players. They're decent players.
Okay, he's okay. He's okay, right?
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
Jalot doesn't have a brain, guys.
Maguire's,
Hang on.
yeah, he's trash, but you're not. I'll give them average, right? Cool. Let's go. Harry Maguire, is he good? Is he average?
In a 3
Let's
is good,
add-
yes.
Yeah, in the
Is
three
he
goals,
good?
In a back 3 is good.
He's not getting exposed. Yeah.
So the 2 goals that we conceded, were they both not Harry Maguire's fault? Both of them.
I don't watch the game. You're gonna have to. I'll take your word for it.
They were both
I
his
think-
fault.
I think the
Ball
first one is
watching.
hard, bro, because it was a rebound.
That guy was
No.
ball. He
Oh,
was ball watching. He was ball watching. He was ball watching.
What was he supposed to do in that moment?
And
That guy had no idea where Mateta was. He had no idea.
maybe Matete is a better striker than he's a defender.
What
so
was he
so
supposed to
so it's
do in
rubbish.
that moment?
He was supposed to defend his man. Like the guy. What I'm saying
guys,
is,
come on.
he was
How
not
many times have we
oriented.
seen goals like that
he
going
did not.
over and
He
over?
did not. You've just said you haven't seen it. So what are you talking about?
No. I haven't seen the game, but how many times have we seen a shot taken, deflected, and then a striker taps it in?
Bro, there's nothing you can
How-
do in that moment.
There's nothing. There's barely anything you can do about that.
No.
That's
If you're in the middle and if you're in the back 3, you're the guy who's supposed to marshal the defense, right?
Exactly.
You're the guy who's supposed to cause organization. You're supposed to communicate.
I don't think
making
Maguire
better
has
in
that
the-
kind of tact.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that kind of finesse to him.
Yeah.
Is he playing himself there and giving himself that role?
No, but he's the player that's available. So
All right.
Nah,
Next,
I mean,
let's
just
go.
fell
Let's
asleep.
keep
I
going.
can remember
Maguire
we're
in the
talking
back three
about
is
the
okay.
squad.
Yeah,
We're
who
talking about
else?
the squad. Okay, De Ligt. I'm not giving these guys rating. You must. I'm
He's a
asking
good
you
player.
guys.
He's a good player.
No, you guys are saying that the entire squad is rubbish, right?
Yeah.
Right. De Ligt, is he a bad player?
We don't mean all 11 people are rubbish. We're talking about the sum of the squad, right?
Hence
De
what I'm
Ligt-
saying.
De Ligt-
Where,
okay, De
where
Ligt-
on the pitch
De
is Amorim's system failing specifically?
De Ligt is an okay
It's
player.
simple.
He's okay to
But
good,
wait,
right?
wait.
He's
Yeah.
The system, it's simple where it's failing. We don't have the wing backs for the system.
Uh-huh.
You've got full backs playing as wing backs. You've got a brain dead Dalot playing as a left wing back. We've had the same problem since last season. We don't have a left back. Mazraoui
Okay.
is not a right wing back, in my view. So
he's
if
not a
you have
wing back, period.
Yeah. So it's
He doesn't
already
have the
minus
legs.
2 players. Minus 2 players. So how do you play out with knowing that you have full backs for wing backs? when you get forward, how do you be an attacking threat with fullbacks who are supposed to be wing backs? So
You don't
really
have a
now-
left 10 as well. You don't have a left 10. You don't have a striker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Pause. Kobe could have played 10 ages ago because we saw him during the week play 10 properly. And I've heard United fans crying for him to be in the 10, and he was stubborn about that. Keep going.
Kobe, he was the only manager who's played Kobe in the 10. First of all,
I'm just saying.
But what I'm saying is Kobe has played a full season. Wasn't quite full, but like he's played a whole season. This is second season. I'm saying he's the first guy who said, "Let me put this guy in the 10." Right? So he's trying something, right?
And Amorim is the first manager to say, let's play back five at Minyar in a long time. That's neither here nor there. The point is he getting the best out of what's available in front of him? My answer categorically is no. We can say the players are rubbish, but they're better than this.
Are they though? Because they were in 13th before he came. But are they? Because they were in 13th before he came.
Under a terrible manager who had to go. And we have a new manager right now who's...
Okay, so Ten Hag was also terrible. No tactician, no... Ten Hag, everybody was raving. The football world was raving around Ten Hag when he came.
Until he came and said, I'm going to be anti-Ten Hag and be everything else. And
he came and he left his principles. And he came and he started doing another
principles?
thing. His Ajax principles, his style of play.
No, he didn't. He said he did the Ajax way.
Yes, exactly. He left his principles. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry. I thought you mentioned his principles.
No. He abandoned them.
Right. Right. So now he was rubbish at his tenure, right? And then United, and both completely the wrong players. I get that. That's fine. He had to go. All I'm simply saying is, knowing that you don't have money to spend, surely you must do something to get the best of what you have, about what you have.
So those wrong players are still playing right now, right?
All those wrong players, but those same wrong players as well, we know that they can pull a result out of somewhere and beat the likes of us. They can beat the likes of Man City. They can do the likes of Liverpool. Surely they can do something, is my point.
No, but again, that's the root problem with our club, right? It's the mentality thing, right? And this has been the problem for the past, since Mourinho days, since everybody's days. They can get up against the big teams, but when it's the game where you're supposed to be dominating, when you've got the possession, when you're at home to the minnows, it's been the same problem. These guys, they don't have the mentality, they don't have the work ethic to say that even though I'm playing the bottom of the league, I'm going to run, I'm going to be tactically disciplined, I'm going to apply myself. They start strolling, they start whatever, and you can see it.
So the same game was because you guys started strolling, and not just because you guys were just outplayed.
So actually, we were not outplayed. We were for large chunks of. I'm telling you, for large chunks. You didn't watch the game. For large chunks.
Look, it's also just about showing up.
Very well. We were actually playing very well, but key moments.
But you also have to look. But you also have to give Amorim the point of look. He's fixed on a system, which is admirable, but he also needs time to kind of plug his pieces into the system. So he's brought a system and tried to put all these square pegs into his system that has round holes type thing. You know, so he also needs that kind of process of putting in what he sees fit for the system. But and you know, the thing that you can't take away from him is that the idea of pursuing the system has to remain. You know, otherwise he ends up as a Ten Hag all over again. So the system is not the problem. You have to understand that he's not able to deploy what he wants in the system.
Yeah, I'm not saying the system is a problem either. My question is, within the system, has he exhausted all his options to see how much he can get the best out of a team? For example, I've seen you guys play well when, for example, you have an Ahmed Diallo as a wing back, or have a wing back that's actually an attacker, and actually say, you know what, stuff it, I'll sacrifice defensively on the wings, but on the wings, I'm going to put attackers on that are actually going to go forward. How often has he tried that, for example? Because in the few times that he has tried it, it's his dividend.
But trying different things, like trying Kobe in the 9 and trying Kobe in the 10.
And Kobe in the 9
no.
Been tried. That one you're not getting run.
The guy who's a striker by trade should never be put in the striker.
The guy who's a striker by trade is a kid you've never seen a striker anywhere ever. Should you find a striker in a big game? God, guys, come on.
And also, look, Amorim. No, it's not to say that the whole squad is absolute trash, but Amorim has so few guys that he can count on. You know, so it's like you say he puts Ahmad at wing back 1 week, and then now up front, you know, there's no one showing up front type thing. You know,
but
so he's got about 3 people he can count on. About 3,
you know,
in the whole squad,
guys
which is fine. On, all I'm saying is, for example, you look your most threatening with Ahmad at wing back, for example. That's a fact.
Yes, but
And
the
then-
problem
so
is
you
the
put
problem.
Ahmad at wing back, and then who are you putting up?
There's no one in
front?
the 10.
You know,
You put
That,
Kobe
so he
there.
was doing that, and he had Bruno there in the 10, and he had all those guys. And the problem is,
Bruno can't play well in the 10. He has to be in the 8.
yeah, but then the thing is, you have Bruno in the 8, right?
Yeah.
And then the ball gets to the 10, and nobody's there to do anything about it. That's why he started putting Ahmad there, because he was like, I'm putting Bruno into the 8, and he's more disciplined, and yes, we can get the ball forward, but then it gets to the 10, and then now it dies. So that's why he moved Ahmad from wing back to the 10, so that he can try create something in the final third. The problem is
Ericsson
we don't
as a
have
10. Has that been tried?
He's played him a few times. Ericsson, that guy doesn't have legs, first of all, right? So
He's
he's
also
not
finished.
someone. He's not someone that you can rely on consistently. He can play. He can play a game here. He can play in this busy period that we're at, with a game every 3 days. Ericsson can't do that.
Okay, so quick question then. Then I'll hop off because you guys are defending this guy to the hills and back, right?
No, we're just saying be fair with the dude. Be fair
I
with
am
the
being
dude.
fair. Fairness for me says, Chief, you don't have everything you need. So you can't be stubborn with your system. You don't have everything you need. That for me is foolish. It's not working.
then you
How
can't-
much longer
no,
does
but- But then it takes you back to the point of your principles, man. It's a long term project as well. You know.
Exactly.
Now because
if you
your
ditch
tools
your
are blunt, you can't do.
You're not
ditch your
ditching it. All
long-term
you're simply saying
objectives.
is, guys, for this season, I need results. I need points on the board. Simple.
So the next season he's starting from scratch now with his system, and then now he's
No.
gonna need it.
Okay,
No. Yes, he
Yeah.
will be starting from scratch again.
Fine,
next
fine.
season, and then after that he's gonna have the thing. You guys are gonna start looking. Amorim, you've been in the job for X amount of months now, and whatever. But we know that's how football works. That's how football works.
No.
That's why he
All
even
I'm
said.
saying-
He
Yeah,
even
yeah.
said, guys.
Guys,
He was like, guys, I can start with my. And this was after. I think this was after around that 4-0 win with Everton, when he was starting to talk about a storm coming and whatever. And he was like, guys, I can start with my system now, and we will suffer. And I'm telling you, we are going to suffer. But next year, this time, we will be in a much better place, because the guys will
Assuming you're still
understand
in
my
the
system.
EPL.
Yeah, look, if we
My
can't keep
point.
us up, if we can't,
Guys,
we're not getting relegated. We're not getting relegated. He was like, I can abandon my approach, right, and do whatever. Let's play a transition. Let's do all of that stuff. But then next year, this time now, we're not gonna be where we need to be, because we're starting from scratch again.
Yeah, but if the players are rubbish, half of them are going to be gone anyway, or most of them, right? So in any event, you have new players coming in through the door to learn the system from scratch. So what's
he's
the
starting
difference?
over again.
So do you want him to fight and then get to 8th, and then like the difference? Like let's think about it, right?
Yeah.
He's not getting relegated. That's, I think.
Hey,
that's-
man.
It's ridiculous.
man.
To think he's getting relegated.
Hey, man.
He's not getting relegated, right?
Yeah, okay,
So-
he's not. He's not.
So
Look, we're 11 points from safety, and we're not even halfway yet. I think we're not getting relegated. You know, I think we're
Yeah.
definitely not getting relegated.
Yeah. We still have to play Chelsea, so that's 3 points there. We've still got
The chest.
so.
The chest.
So I kid. So
Like, I hear everything that you're saying there, but I
Yeah.
agree with LG, guys. It's not good enough, guys. I hear a lot of excuses you guys are saying. You need this player, you need that player. I feel like we've been hearing this excuse with Ten Hag, with Oli. If
But
we
those
get this
guys
player,
have their
we'll be
players.
better,
They got their
all that
players.
kind of stuff.
They
Yeah,
got
but
their
for
players,
how long,
though.
bro? For how long is this gonna keep going on? Every time we need a new manager, we need new players, but the performances are not.
And
good.
for how long are we gonna keep sacking managers with the
I don't
same
know.
players? How long are we gonna just keep on sacking managers?
I hear that, but right now he's not doing good enough, and you can only
Facts.
attribute it to the players for so much. Like with the
Facts.
players that you have, he's not doing good enough, bro. And you guys have
Facts.
quality. You guys have quality. You have a lot of quality, better than a lot of teams in the top 10. But you're not doing
Same
good
qual-
enough, bro.
The same quality that was in 13th before Amorim came. That's my point.
Yeah,
With a bad manager.
Yeah, bro.
Is the
That's my point. Okay,
With a
so
bad
like,
manager.
everything's now just gonna be bad manager.
No.
The same players
Chief.
have showed us.
Here's the thing, here's
The
the thing,
same
here's the thing.
players have shown us.
Chief, look at Arsenal. I know I don't like this trust the process crap and it takes time and all that nonsense. No, for me, set dedicated time, resources, figure it out. If you can't, next. Anyway, look at Arteta, right? His style of play that first season when he took over was nonsense. He was just doing the best that he could. 5 defenders, let's go, guys. Let's figure it out. Why? I don't have my players. But as soon as the pieces started coming in, eventually something transformed. But in the short term, he was like, hey, guys, this is the best way we can perform and get some results, and we nick an FA Cup. Then you can start implementing your, and you know, you got yourself credit in the bank. Now let's start trying to implement a style. And then we got away with the 8th again, and we're happy with it. And then we jumped to 5th, and then everything started clicking. All I'm simply saying is, at the end of the day, you need to look at what's in front of you. What's in front of you doesn't work for your system. You're shooting yourself in the foot by saying system yaga, system yaga, system yaga. At some point, you need to.
What did Jurgen Klopp do when he came to Liverpool?
Top 4
Same
first
thing.
season.
Same thing.
No,
he
it was the
didn't.
same thing. It was the same thing. Liverpool,
Same.
they were getting chowed. They were getting
Yeah, but his
players
league
couldn't
finish
press.
was good.
The players couldn't press. They couldn't.
But he qualified for Champions League straight away.
Yeah,
No,
and
he
they weren't this
didn't.
No,
bad.
he-
They were
no,
bad,
he-
but they
he-
weren't
he's
this
not-
bad.
Yeah,
They weren't this bad.
and before Klopp came, they weren't that bad. He started off from a much higher base than what we started off from, right? Klopp didn't reach them in 13th, right? They were much higher. They were.
No, I understand.
The
All
whole,
I'm
the
saying
whole
is
thing was
Klopp-
they wanted to take
Klopp didn't
as a
take
club.
more
They
than a
wanted to
season
take
to
that
adjust
next step.
everything, and he said,
This
said,
guy's
"This
been
is
there
my
for 3
system."
months. This guy's been there
I
for 3
understand,
months.
but Klopp said, "This is my system. Whether
Yeah.
I get chowed with it or out with it, this is my system." But at least you got a tune. You got results.
Mm.
He wasn't
No,
13.
No,
man,
but
That's the
no,
point.
he
Klopp
didn't
was
get
struggling.
results. He didn't get it.
He was
Klopp was
struggling.
very patchy. He was winning here, losing there, winning here,
They
losing
were
there.
celebrating bros. These
Yeah,
guys.
it was
If you
drawing.
remember
Klopp
correctly.
was, you guys revisionist. Klopp's
No,
first
guys-
season. Klopp's
guys,
first season
even-
was not
even-
great, guys. It was
Even
not great.
David Moyes right now is getting a tune out of that Everton team. That was in the
Exactly.
relegation
That's my
battle.
point.
So
But
for how
it's
long are we
But
gonna
guys-
keep
but
with
guys,
these excuses?
you guys, this is what the thing about fans, right? People like disregard things like they're like, oh, this manager comes in, he gets a tune, new manager bounce. Why can't whatever? We forget that like squads are not built the same, right? Some squads are coherent and managers are not getting the best out of the thing. Some squads are incoherent. For example, go back to this season, right? This very season with Eric Ten Hag, with these players. And we're still trying to figure out what's our best lineup. Where does Mason Mount play? Where does this guy play? This is year 3. Where does this guy play? Where does this guy play? We don't have a coherent starting 11. And this has been a recurring theme because our squad has been largely a mishmash of players from different guys, and we haven't had good players in each position. It's always been square pegs, round holes, square pegs, round holes. We haven't had it.
Liverpool were
Other teams are
10th
more
when Klopp
balanced.
took over. They finished 6th that season.
Yeah.
That is the point.
So, yeah,
And
we
they
were
descended to
13th.
Europe straight away.
We
And
were
next season-
13th.
Eh?
We were 13th when Amorim came. We're still 13th. What's your
That
point?
was Klopp, though. What is the point? He took them at 10th and he started climbing up the table.
Yeah.
Over
He
a
didn't go on
season.
a 10-8 game streak of just nonsense and diddling around, going lower, or just staying thereabouts, and then eventually kicked on. No. We saw a style. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But more often than not, you got a tune. And you got
It
a
mostly
tune.
didn't work. It mostly
So
didn't work.
I'm
How do you
interested
finish
to
6th then
hear.
if it mostly didn't work?
So so looking in from an outside perspective, so what are you saying about Amorim? Then what is like the gist? What's the verdict here?
The verdict is so far not good enough. He is currently failing with what is in front of him. That is my verdict.
100%.
So what must
him to
happen?
be-
So what must happen?
Get better or get out.
He needs to do better, bro.
Thankfully, it's not your decision to make.
Getting out.
Which is
I don't
fine.
think, I don't think there's any chance. Yeah, thankfully, I don't think there's any chance he's not going before the end of the season. 100%.
Okay,
He's
let
not
me
playing,
let me ask this. Nate.
So that's out the window.
So no matter what, he's not
100%.
leaving the season.
I told you, bruh. 40 points.
he's not-
That's all. That's all he needs to do. That's all he needs to do, bruh.
Mighty Man
That's all he
United,
needs to
guys.
do.
Glory, glory.
We're not mighty,
United.
We are not mighty. We are not mighty.
Okay, so but you guys can admit that you guys have not been good enough.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that. Everybody
yeah.
knows that. I think that's clear.
And
Like,
Amorim was on
if-
the pot to
if-
play
if-
that.
So in the
Yes,
short term, what needs
yes.
to change?
What can change? I can't tell you what's going to change here. We need to get to the end of the season. That's what.
Okay.
So what needs to change is the season needs to end. That's what needs to
Well,
change.
time must just pass in you.
Anyways,
Must just close our eyes, wake up. Hey, end of May. Done.
James, what's your thoughts on this whole thing, bro?
No, dude, for me, it's simple for the season. We did say it last week. There's nothing much we can look forward to in the league. But he's good in moments. He's good in certain big games. That, to me, speaks to the Europa League. Europa League is our only saving grace. We're still in the FA Cup. But for the league, he can use that to figure out what's what. And when we come to the next transfer window,
Not to relegate
gets the
you.
guys
What?
that he needs.
But
And no, you guys speak like when Klopp came, they were like so like that. There's so many more good teams in this league now than there were then. Even 6 then was not good enough because it was still the time you had the big 4, right? And there was really nobody else outside of that, right?
Who did Klopp have as players?
So what I'm saying is 6th was not even like in those times it was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, fair.
Considering the strength of the league at that time.
Fair. But there was progression. We could see a style. It was working more often than not. Hence why he climbed up the table in the top 6.
He built
right now we're seeing more failure than success. So we must ask questions.
But if you look at Klopp, he built his new team again. He got a goalkeeper. Trent came from the academy. He signed a left back. He signed Van Dijk. He signed who was it? Was it Matip? The whole midfield, he signed it. The front 3, he signed it. It's a new 11 that played Klopp football. Amorim
and there's 9 trophies to show for it.
Yes. New 11. And Amorim
no, we get it, guys. Yes.
No,
it takes time to build
a new 11, and he still hasn't won anything yet. As an example.
Yeah.
So
who's this?
These things, Arteta has signed a new 11, but still,
the
only thing he can show for it is
he's not a great manager. Fair.
Yeah. So give Amorim time. He can. Yeah, this season is a write-off for us, but I'm just saying Europa League, FA Cup. That's the only
Lesta?
for this.
No, I want to hear about the end of the season. Mara, guys, we hear it. Yes, it's
sorry,
a project. It takes time.
Sorry, Klopp picked up the team in 10th and he finished 8th in his season.
My research said 6th because I saw the EPL table 2014-2025.
That was the Leicester season.
15-16. Got it. Okay.
Yes. They finished 8th,
Fair.
so you took them up 2 points, two positions.
Okay, so if Amorim finishes 11th, fine, I'll back off.
Bro, 40 points. That's 40 points. Anyways, we need to get to transfers. But Chelsea, what's happening? I watched the first half. Jared Bowen's beautiful goal. I went to sleep with a smile on my face. I woke up and I was sad. What happened?
Before I jump into Chelsea, I just wanted to say one thing about Arsenal fans. I love Arsenal fans, bro. If I would have been just as happy as you guys after that win. But the arrogance, like y'all did something. Okay, no, never mind.
These guys are saying they've been better than City for the past 2 seasons.
No.
These are the things that are.
Who said that?
Your friend Robert Lyle.
Yeah, Don Robbie is sus with his takes. No. So sorry, just one thing about Arsenal. Arsenal fans are the only ones who want to measure the season outside of the cycle of the season, if that makes sense. So we won't measure performances from August to May, where the league is actually played. We will measure our performance from January to December. And say, yeah, we're the most consistent team in the past 40 games. Okay, but you won nothing though.
Yeah.
Anyway.
100%. Chelsea. Yeah, man. Like we needed the win, bro. I wasn't lie. I was scared for my life while I was watching that game, bro. We dominated that game. We deserved to win it, but I feel like it was one of those, like, sometimes you don't win pretty, man. And I'm happy we won dirty, because at the end of the day we just needed the 3 points. It was just about the mentality and everything. So I'm happy we got the 3 points. We played way better, way better than what we've been doing the past couple of weeks. And hey, man, I'm happy at the moment. There's no tears. I'm disappointed, but there's no tears. So let's keep going. Top four. The goal is top 4. In the top 4 now. Let's keep going.
Let's see what the top 4.
No regrets on Sancho yet.
No. Not at all. Sancho's a good player.
Yeah, he is.
Let's not.
He doesn't look like it sometimes. Like this past game, he didn't look like he was a good player.
But to be fair, bro, who's been on form like the past couple of games in our team? No one.
Not anybody wake. Kidding. He's been rubbish.
Not even.
What do you guys? You guys are on 43 points. You've got City in 5th on 41. Newcastle in 6th on 41. What kind of Newcastle lost randomly this weekend?
Yeah.
Fulham 2-1.
Top 4 is going to be lit.
I hate Newcastle.
Yeah, top 4 is going to. Bournemouth is on 40 as well. I think they'll fall away. But I mean, you're fending You're fending off City and Newcastle.
And not
What do we
even
think?
Forest, bro.
What do we? Yeah, for top 4. No, I don't think you're in a race with them. They're racing Arsenal. I think you guys are racing for 4th. I think Forest
Bro.
is racing for 2nd.
Bro, all they need to do is lose once, and we're 1 point behind
Absolutely.
them. So top 4 is going to be lit, bro.
We'll see.
Yeah, but
That's about
that's
it.
assuming that Chelsea are back on track now, and they're not going to have this little blip. That this blip is purely behind Chelsea now, because I was really worried for Chelsea, man, over the past few weeks.
Playing Brighton away next,
What
Chelsea.
happened
No,
say that
we're here.
again?
We're here. You're playing Brighton next away.
Yeah.
And then you've got Southampton at home. And then you've got Leicester at home. Okay, so you've got some. It's the Brighton, and then there's Arsenal. So it's the Brighton one. That's a bit sus. And then you've got 2 easy games. And then you've got Emirates.
Yeah.
Leicester.
I think we'll at least win 2 of those games.
Forest. Let's see, who do Forest have? I can't believe I'm even looking up Forest. They've got Fulham at Craven Cottage. And then their next game is St. James Park. And then
Arsenal.
So they have a tough.
This might be interesting. Yeah, this might be interesting. Right? We'll
You guys
see.
should
We'll
be fine
see.
against Brighton. We should be fine. I mean, Forest gave them a young 7, so no pressure.
What did they give United?
But we're in the mud, bro. We're in the mud. It's like you might as well be saying, what did they give Southampton? It doesn't matter, bro. We're in the mud.
I think Brighton's going to be a tricky game for Chelsea. I think it's going to be very tricky because their manager's a good manager. They're well drilled. I think they lost 7 simply because Nuno's tactics just completely outwitted any team that plays possession football. Like, it was a masterclass on how to, just dominate a game with someone that's trying to play out from the back and do all this nonsense the whole time. Literally get the ball forward. Guys, Chris Wood, man. Who saw Chris Wood scoring almost 20 league goals?
Bro, that man needs more respect, bro.
No. And he's old on top of
More
that. In his 30s.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's that thing of like, I mean, you could look at Herzl now and say, well, shouldn't he not have changed his tactics mid-game once it got to like 3-4 now? Like, should you not? He stuck to his guns. He stuck to his principles the whole game, and they just kept on coming.
Yeah.
Or maybe Brighton just couldn't adapt, and Forest just had their number. And no matter what they tried, you try to go defensively, I'll bet. You try.
No, but they didn't. They didn't. They just stuck to their guns. Possession. Forest hardly had any possession. Brighton was bossing the possession, but I'm actually wonder if there's been a team that has scored that many goals with that amount of possession, or like with that little possession in context. I wonder.
I don't think
so. Chris Wood has. Did you say 20 league goals?
No, he's close to 20. He's creeping up on 20.
So
17, I think.
So Sir Marcus Rashford, MBE, on that fire season of his, had 17 league goals.
Was that in his 30 goal
wasn't that his
season?
best season?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Are we saying that Chris Wood has already beaten Rashi's best season?
Yes.
But
There's
guys,
levels.
In the league.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The box, head of the ball in, put the ball in the back of the net. Simple, basics.
Yeah, no, but that's true. James is fair. Actually, you know what? Let me stop shitting on my guy. You can see he's looking stressed there. let him bruh. It looks like he's been in a cave, bruh.
Like, what's going on?
And the irony, Rashford's acting like he's the one who's leaving a toxic relationship, man. But we've been nothing but nice to the guy, man.
You guys have been more than nice.
It's like we've given the guy everything he's asked for, and then now
you all have been simping for that guy, Shem.
Then he walks away, and
you
he's
guys
like,
have been simping for whilst getting nothing.
You know?
Yeah, no, I called it. I called it. Villa, I called it that day. Remember that day it was announced like 6 hours before. I was thinking, I was like, where can this Rashford guy go? Because this Barcelona guy, this Barcelona thing's not going to work out.
Not gonna happen.
BVB doesn't have the money, and I know they're going to try some cheap thing, and we're not going to go for that. It's not happening with Bilal. And I was thinking, John Duran just went. These guys have money. They must be the guys. And for the viewers at home, so I acted Aston Villa, and then 6 hours later, the rumors started popping up. So I take full credit for that one. But I think exactly. But I think it's a good move for him. Like, I mean, I think first prize would have been a different league, different country. Let me rather say. Just completely different. I mean, Aston Villa is like, I mean, it's like Pretoria and Joburg. I think the distance between Birmingham and Manchester, it's like it's hour and a half, something like that. So, like, I mean, technically, he could still live at his house and say, "Driver, take me there." Technically, so it's like, and you're still in the league. You're still gonna see the same guys, you know, every week that you would normally face. So I just hope that the whole new club thing, and like, I just hope it kicks him into gear when he goes. I don't know anything about the facilities at Villa, but maybe he walks in first day of training, and then he sees whether he gets a good surprise, a bad surprise, doesn't matter. But then maybe he'll start remembering what he had back at home, remembering the food that he had at home, and and I hope it just spurs him on to say, "I need to."
These men are desperate for Rashid to do well so they can sell him, ne? Desperate.
Yeah,
He's gonna
look.
bang 10 goals.
So he signed a loan, and then he's apparently agreed a 3-year contract. I know they've set a 40 million price tag. But I know Villa can exercise the clause. I just don't know whether Rashi has a veto on that exercise as well. If he can say, Villa, you want me, but I don't. No thanks. Because we know obviously he would want to go somewhere. Because I was checking Matthias Tell, that deal, and we'll get into the details. But they've Spurs has a buy option, but Matthias has a say in whether he wants. He can veto it as well.
Okay.
But speaking on that, so we were obviously linked with Matthias Tell now. He's going to be the forward to replace Rashi. Obviously, we know the window's shut. We know how that went through. But the details are coming through, bruh. Have you guys seen the details on this loan?
Yeah.
Not so much. I just remember people saying Levy flew there and got rejected, and I'm like, there's no way a businessman like him flies there and just gets rejected. And then Diggy's going to United, and then you guys get beat, and then he's like cancelled. I'm like, oh, this is way too convenient.
Yeah. So he did. So Tell did tell Spurs no, right? Because he was holding out still. Arsenal and United were still in the race. And then Arsenal. Oh, Tell said then he prefers to go to United. Probably he thought they've got guaranteed play time there, or whatever the case is. United. So
zero competition.
So yeah, exactly. So United put in a loan bid. Bayern rejected it. They said they put in 2 loans and whatever. And at first, the details started coming out, and they were like, "No, Bayern wanted a 5 million loan fee," and United was like, "That's crazy for 4 months, and then we don't even have a buy option and blah blah blah." And then now the details have come through. Now, long story short, we know he went to Spurs. So Spurs have paid a 10 million euro loan fee, plus they're covering his full salary, so that's 2 million. So that's a 12 million outlay for the loan. And then if they want to make it permanent, it's another 55 to 60 million euros. And he's got a veto.
That's crazy.
Insane.
That's
that is
crazy.
absolutely
That
insane.
Wow.
10 million loan free for 4 months.
10 meters.
He's going to play Feb, March, April, some of May. Or let's say May. And then the league is done. 10 meter.
And what happens if he hits the ground? And what happens if he hits the ground and he's not successful and he's just trash? Then what?
What happens if he goes? We know how Ange's training these guys. He goes there and he pulls something, and then he's out for a month, 2 months.
You know what? Spurs is another interesting club because they've got money. They've spent some money.
They do.
Right? I mean, when they got James Madison, I was like, wow, that was a master stroke. 40 mil for him. Fantastic. And then Ange ran into the ground, right? So pause. And then we had, what's this? Van der Ven. I was like, okay, very good defender, tall, blistering pace. Fantastic. You guys are doing well. Right? Paid up nice with Romero. Then I was like, Ease Bissouma. I'm like, okay, you guys are on it, right? And then they buy Solanke for 65. And then Brennan Johnson for like 50. And then Timo Werner on loan. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing? And then on top of that, they play Highline FC, just getting rammed every week, in and out, just inconsistent as ever. And now I think that, what are they? They're 12th now or something.
Yeah, they're behind us, so they must be 14.
Wow.
We're playing them. We're playing them next week, so it's a 6-pointer. There.
You know what I mean? So that's probably why they had to pay over the odds.
What's worse?
Pretty much
What's worse
cater to him because they're worse.
Yeah. What's worse, getting Timo Werner or renewing Timo Werner for the second season? Which decision is worse? Getting him the first time or having him and see how he plays and bring him again?
They're both sackable in my opinion. I can't tell.
But you know what I thought was interesting? What I thought was interesting about Spurs is, you know, the fan talk is that the fans are more against Daniel Levy than they are against Ange.
Yeah. And that Enoch guy, I didn't even know who the heck Enoch was, but like, yeah, the ownership. I think their whole thing was that, again, we're talking about sacking managers earlier. The whole thing was over, I don't know if it's 20 years or whatever the period is. I think it was something like 20 years, 18 managers, 1 trophy. So they were like, we've tried the managers, we've tried the Mourinho, we've tried Conte.
Yeah.
These are, we've tried all these guys, and now the constant is you guys. I think that's the message the fans are saying.
Yeah, I think
Crazy.
Spurs.
That's where we are as well.
Yeah.
Spurs with managers have not been proper, if that makes sense. I mean, you can't hire Mourinho and not give him money. That doesn't make sense. You can't get Conte and not give him money. That doesn't make sense. These guys need fully finished articles, you know, beginning to end of the squad, pretty much. And they must be at least one wow player. Like, you have to give them what they want, right? And I mean, getting Mourinho and sacking him before a final. I mean, what was that?
That was the dumbest move, bro.
It's Mourinho, guys.
Like, we don't care, whatever beef. You are in a final.
You're in a final.
It was less than
You
a
win
week
that
away.
trophy,
It was
the
like
fans are
3-4
gonna forgive
days.
you for the next 10 years. You understand? So it's like you're getting all these world-class legit managers that need money, and then you want to shortchange them and be surprised when there's a toxic mess for Ange to take over. And on top of that, I think Ange is like the perfect puppet for them as well, because he's not like he's calling them out either.
Yeah.
And the
I'm
thing
just
about
happy to be here, mate. That's
what I'm
the
saying.
thing.
Mourinho and Conte is that they had pull. You see, now they're struggling to pull in some proper players.
Exactly.
It's wild. We'll see. But and we'll see. Mister, I always win something in my second season. What are they? They're gonna halftime. Yeah, it's gonna be Carling Cup this week, ne?
Yeah.
Or what is it now? Carabao. So they're 1-0 up against Liverpool, but I mean, I think we all fully expect Liverpool to overturn that, right?
Yep.
Of course.
Cool. So they're out of the Carabao, and then Europa League is the last chance. I just on that, I hate these draws, man. I hate this new format where like there's a draw that's happened, but the draw is still not final. There's like we're still not sure exactly. Like, what the heck, bro? What's going on?
Dude, I don't pay attention. You they'll just tell me who I'm playing, and that's it. I can't. Second place, 32nd, and this one's and this one will play the winner of this, that, but there must be a draw first. I'm like, guys, yeah. You complicated it.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Just go back to having 4, 5, 6 groups, 4 teams per group. 2 that top the group, move on. The rest of you guys move on.
Yeah. It's because like now we can't even say what Spurs' path to the final is gonna be or what United's. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if you look at the Europa League, Eintracht Frankfurt is there. They're having a decent season, I think. Spurs is there. United is there. Lazio has been the best. They've got. I think Lazio hasn't won. They topped the group. I don't know if they didn't lose. I know we didn't lose, but I don't know if they won all the games or what the case is. But I think those
1 or 2.
They drew 1-2. And then
Yeah.
who else is there? Sociedad is there somewhere in the mix. Né?
Yes, correct.
So between
And
those,
Liverpool-
yeah. So I think the winner's gonna come between those 5: Spurs, United, Sociedad, Lazio, Eintracht Frankfurt. I don't see anyone else.
So not Spurs. So it's going to come from those 4: United,
So-
Frankfurt, Lazio, United.
Which then brings us to where to with Ange if he doesn't win a trophy now.
Yeah.
Second year.
Yeah, he's gonna
Sack.
get sacked.
Do you look at the fact that he hasn't had his look, and it's his fault because of his training and whatever, but do we look at the fact that he hasn't had his team for the bulk of the season?
Sack.
Yeah. No, like you gotta be a bit fair. Like Spurs have the most injuries. Like they almost have a whole team out. So you gotta
When
be a
Ange-
bit fair.
When Ange
Yeah.
was at Celtic, injuries. When Ange was in Australia, injuries.
Yeah,
Sack.
clearly it's his football. That's how they choose to play that's affecting the players. But I do feel like the hierarchy is probably like, bro, he doesn't have all his players, so we can't just sack him immediately. I feel like if they were to sack him,
He doesn't have all his players. We can't just sack him. The guy in 2
yeah,
years.
bro.
Yet there's another guy that I know who's been in there for 3 months. who doesn't have any of his players.
But Ange's players are injured. You guys don't have no major injuries.
But wait.
We don't have
Last
the players
season-
within the squad.
You guys don't have
Last season
injuries.
that was Ten Hag's excuse. Last season was Ten Hag's excuse. I
Nah,
don't
guys,
think
and-
there's the
guys,
injuries.
And just like 9 players out. If United had 9 players out, we
Ten
didn't hear
Hag's
the
a-
end of it right now, bro.
But why are they
That's the
out,
same for
Lester?
Ten Hag.
No, I hear it. It's probably
Yeah.
because of the football as well. So that just
Exactly.
means that they need to buy more
It's
players.
mostly because of the football.
Well, so buy more players so he can
Injure them.
injure a few, rotate these ones, have backups. No,
Yeah.
guys.
I'm not buying this injury
then
story.
what's
I'm
the-
not
what's
buying
the
this
solution?
injury story for
What's
Spurs.
the
The
solution? You sack
solution,
Ange
either
and then what?
adapt or get sacked. That's the solution. Adapt or get sacked.
Who must
Simple.
adapt? Ange.
Ange.
Else he
they
just
won't
wants to
get
sack people.
But the problem with
Adapt to
Ange
what?
is you also can't respect Ange because he doesn't have a plan, man. Like he just takes every game, he just rocks up to every game, and
Highline FC.
you know.
Every single game is to play
So
the exact same
how
way.
do you back a guy with no plan?
Exactly. Guys, you have to adapt. It's that simple. You have to adapt. It's a results business, this thing. If your style that you played in Celtic is getting you child for today, you're winning 1 tomorrow, you're 13 jiggy, it's not working. Adapt, tweak it. Like the thing for me is, I'm not talking about overhaul your system. All he has to do is get his defenders maybe 10 foot deeper. Just a small little tweak like that changes everything. Klopp was the same, by the way, towards the end of his tenure. Always getting charged by the high line. What did he do? He just dropped it a bit. And just like that, they look a lot more competitive. That's all he has to do. Tweaks. Game management, chief.
I hear it,
Wajil.
bro, but I don't think they're gonna sack him. I don't
They
think they're gonna
won't,
sack
but
him.
if I was in their shoes, Bona, you deliver silverware, get us back into Europe, or you're out. Simple.
But that's like asking the impossible. Asking a Spurs manager deliver silverware.
Chief,
Bruh. That's what they call constructive dismissal.
No. You got yourself to 13, like it. We didn't pick the starting lineup for you. We didn't tell you keep a high line. You got yourself to 13. You better coach yourself out or win a trophy. or you're
Respect us,
out.
please. We're 13th. They're 14th.
Fine margins
Zero
there. Fine
shade.
margins. You got yourself to
Zero
14th. You got yourself to 14th with poor in-game management. You're running players to the ground. You're not adapting to anything. You're just going gun ho every single game. No, out. Silverware or out. Because here's the thing. How many players do we give him next season? And what's it going to change? Other than the fact that he has less players that can get injured.
I just think they need to strengthen their squad, bro. Because if you think about it, Spurs don't really have like a big squad. They have a very thin squad. That's why they're suffering right now. So they just need to strengthen in terms of they don't have to buy like the biggest of players, but they just need more players in more positions, bro. That's all I'm saying.
But to be, look, that's
So
right.
Chelsea FC,
To
have
be
a
fair,
second
at the
squad
beginning,
in case Team A gets injured.
Yeah. If you have 9 injuries,
was-
what else are you gonna do?
he was still taking
Chief?
these outs beginning of the season when he had his full squad.
Yeah, but they were
Exactly.
decent last season, and they didn't have this many injuries last season. So now look at
now
that.
we got found out. He's not adapting. He's 14th. Out. Get back into Europe, silverware, or out.
Just
This
Because
guy-
here's the thing, right?
Go on,
I'll-
say it,
Here's
yeah,
what's gonna
man.
happen. Here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna give him more money. He's not gonna improve anyway. He's gonna get sacked anyway, and then there's a whole mess again after the likes of Conte's Mourinho to fix again.
If Algie was a club owner, he'd probably have like 4 or 5 managers that he's paying off at the same time because he's been sacking guys. So.
And what I will also have, like Roman Abramovich and like Florentino Perez there at Madrid, is a trophy cabinet that's getting full. Standard.
But look, but the time thing for managers does make a difference. You know what I think has been interesting with the Villa thing is, even these guys like Rashford are saying, no, I'm really looking forward to working with a guy like Emery, like he's part of the reason, he goes and stuff. So like Emery, all of a sudden, his stock is so high, just because he's been in a spot where he's had the time to kind of do his thing,
I agree
And-
slash disagree because he
You
took
know,
a team
and-
that was
and-
headed for relegation and just from the get-go, Watkins started banging, the team started defending better, and he just climbed straight up the table and got them into Europe. Like I think that
But
the
he's
next
taken
season or
them
something.
all the way to the top, literally,
Yeah.
In
In
But
the
then
season
again,
and a
it comes
half.
from having time to kind of do your thing, without the threat of a sack hanging over your head.
No facts, but also like Emery's a proven winner though. I don't think
Exactly.
Aston Villa were worried about him. He's a proven winner.
Exactly.
But
So-
Ange always wins stuff in his second season. So
Does he though?
what's the problem?
No one takes any seriously, bro.
All I'm saying is Emery stepped in mid-season when Gerrard was flopping, and straight away the trajectory was one way and one way only. Boom.
Yeah.
but that's also
Watkins became
because,
hot property all of a sudden.
but that's because Gerrard was
Mismanaging his squad,
severely underperforming. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Fact.
yeah.
And he came from Scotland as well, right?
Touche.
What are you trying to say?
Touche.
What are you trying to say?
Touche. Hey man, Scottish Premier League EPL not the same. Not
Yeah.
the same.
João Felix, I remember last week, Lester, you were telling us João Felix is not going anywhere. What happened?
I said he could go on the last.
Where is
game.
he? Did he leave?
You
That's
said he's
what I
not going
said.
anywhere.
Look-
Kuku's
Look
not going
back,
anywhere.
I said I don't think he's gonna leave, but he could go on the last day because you never know what happens on the final day.
So how are you feeling about
what I
that? Because
said.
you guys though have your squad is crazy.
It's-
So
Bro, it's a bittersweet. On one hand, I like Zhao, bro. Zhao is different. He's a different type of player, different flavor. So I'm not happy with the fact that we don't have him. But at the same time, actually, I'm not happy as well with our ownership. I don't know why we bought him if we're just gonna loan him out to other places. It makes no sense.
I think
We're
there
gonna
was a
flip him.
wasn't it like a cooking the books transaction? Because
Yeah.
there was a João Felix came and then what happened? There was
Yeah.
Gallagher went the other way.
Gallagher.
It was
Yes,
Gallagher
it was
going the
it
other
was
way.
a cooking the books thing because they wanted to get certain revenue on the books, so they
Yeah,
pretty
just
much.
made sure that the prices were right and
Exactly.
Pretty much.
And now they're gonna flip him because he's still young, right?
Yeah.
that guy
Yeah,
has
yeah.
a Nicholas Anelka career. That guy is he's a traveling
permanently
man, bruh.
permanently on loan,
Bruh.
this guy, man.
Don't-
I mean, if he does leave to get a young 50 M's from him, that's not bad business at all. But on the other side of things, like it gives other players some game time now. We have too many players that are unhappy, so now at least it frees up some spots. Nkunku can play more regularly now. So
Who's your
outside
backup
of that,
striker,
bro,
Lester?
At the moment, it's a young guy we bought from Barcelona, Mark Gill.
Why aren't you guys playing him?
We played him yesterday.
No, but I mean, we've gone through
In
7
general,
games with
in
Jackson gone missing. I mean, has he had game time every single game since?
He normally plays like the other games, like the Conference League and the FA Cup, those kind of games. He doesn't play in the league. But,
Because, I mean,
but
It's
to
he
those
me-
played
João
it.
Felix games.
Yeah.
He looks like a good player, genuinely. Like he looks like there's a player there. Like every time I've
No,
seen him,
there
I'm
is.
like, whoa, there's something there.
There is. He just needs time. He just needs to develop. That's it. But there is a play there for sure.
He deserves more minutes for me, especially if Jackson is going to be going missing as often as he is. Just give him a
But
chance. Don't miss.
that-
Wasn't that the same thing they said about Broja and was it Fofana?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They're not
yeah,
happy today.
Bro,
'Cause it-
we're gonna the sad reality is we're gonna cycle through these players until we find the ones that work. And I feel like it's most likely if we buy a top striker next season, Osimhen, Enquiries, then chances are some of these guys are going to be loaned out or sold.
And the rules have
That's how
changed.
we-
You're not allowed to sell yourself hotels that you own anymore.
Oh, is that it now?
Yeah.
What
What-
about the-
whatever moves Chelsea are making, there's a new rule that comes in after that. You say,
It's
no,
crazy,
you can't
huh?
do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore.
There's an agenda. There's an agenda against Chelsea. Bro.
No, you know what it is, right? I think for me, our ownerships are taking a wholesale mick, right? I'll tell you why, right? They voted for PSR pad.
Yeah,
They voted for it. So they voted to have their spending restricted. Why?
So that
Yeah.
clubs don't.
They
go
like
into debt.
ambition. There's no ambition here. You understand?
Yeah. Look, I think to be honest, the reason it came about, right? Obviously, we know the other teams outside of the top four, they probably already had an agenda against the top four because the top four clubs was getting a lot more TV revenue and blah blah blah. But then the whole City thing happened, and those guys were scared that these guys are gonna be able to spend unlimited money with their oil money.
You see?
In fact, they had already been doing it for a few years.
Yes.
Right? And then they were like, hey, this is a problem. We can't go band for band with these guys. We need to bring something in to curb these guys spending. That's
Because of a lack of ambition. One owner wants to win, another owner just wants to make a profit. There's no ambition here.
But how do you say lack of ambition when you're just like where you're just a standard millionaire / like you're just scraping
And you're
billionaire and you're dealing with an oil state here? How do you say lack of ambition?
The Arsenal owner is not just a mega millionaire; he's a billionaire with multiple sports teams. I mean, one of his other teams he gave
your
some
guy
the
doesn't have
longest
ambition.
contract
Yeah.
ever.
Your guy doesn't.
Our guy's full of it. Our guy's full of it for sure. He's full of it. Liverpool as well. They are full of it. Do you understand? There is no way you guys are voting to restrict City spending, and then you guys are going to sit back and say, "Yeah, but we can't, guys, because of PSR." You voted for the thing.
You know, I saw a thing where the Glazers were interested in buying an IPL team, and I was like, these guys, they just want to leave a trail of destruction in every sport, and because IPL has a lot of money as
There's
well.
money
I'm like, these guys, they just want to ruin everything they can.
I'm just saying, City's
like
owner,
the
at
money.
least he's very clear. I will find ways to be successful and to win. That's all I care about. I want to win. Abramovich was the same. I want to win.
Yeah.
Don't come up with silly rules to restrict my spending. I will put billions if I have to. I want to win. And if I think if an owner owns a club and wants to put money in and has the financial backing to rescue it in case things go pear-shaped or whatever, let him spend. He's ambitious at least.
Yeah.
Unlike KSC, I mean, the guy's going for a title charge. They bought him no one.
Yeah.
And now they're going to say, well, you won it without these guys, so you don't need anyone.
Yeah.
I think if they were there, if they did that sort of removal, I think we would be a force. Because Ineos has money, guys. Ineos has crazy amount of. I think the annual turnover is 60 billion.
That's right.
United was going for 6 billion. So they make 10 times the value of United every year. So I think
Newcastle as well. Their owners are rich. If PSR didn't exist, Newcastle would be causing problems.
That's oil, bro. That's just pure oil.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't trust Ineos as well. Despite that revenue, they could have bought United outright. And a part of me with a passion, I just want these Glazers out, guys.
Yeah. I think he's a businessman though, right? Because you become a billionaire by being a businessman.
Exactly.
So like it's like yes, he could have, but like you also know that you are grossly overpaid if you do it. So it's like, do you want to do it? For me, the thing that I don't get, right? It's like, okay, cool, we've got Sir Jim, he only got a quarter of the club. And people will be like, broke billionaire, blah, 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 blah. We wish we had Qatar and whatever. I am saying that Qatar, how were you out tacticked by a meager businessman when you are a whole nation? How did he beat you with tactics?
I think that
why are you not here? Why are you not? We know that Sheikh Jassim guy doesn't even exist. We know that it was Qatar that wanted to buy the club. But it's like everybody is like, oh, if Qatar was here, we would have done this and would have done that. Braz, Qatar failed to beat this one man. How are you saying they would have done this and that? They failed to beat Sir Jim.
I think for me that was simple. The Glazers are there to milk the club as much as they can.
They
So
have
any
been.
offer that allows them to stay, they will take it.
Exactly.
Full stop.
But wasn't it an issue of like the EPL itself? They don't want too many like foreign owners
See?
taking over and stuff like
Polo
that.
T.
No, they do
Politics.
have that. They do have that thing, but with Qatar, they could do it. So Qatar has a UK by the. So Qatar owns Heathrow, right?
Yeah.
Qatar owns like a lot of big. I think it's Harrods or like big hotels in whatever. They own a lot of massive real estate in the UK. So
Yeah.
Qatar was starting to threaten the government. They're like, "Oh, you are saying this, we can't come. Okay, we'll pull our investment." And the government was trying to say, "Hey, Premier League,
Panicked.
just relax, let these guys
Yeah.
go." Yeah, so they were going to that wasn't going to be a problem. That wasn't going to be a problem. But in general, yes, the Premier League is trying. There is an element of that.
And if we say Premier League, it's other clubs as well because I got their vote.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Make England great again.
I see Elon Musk is trying there, even from the UK. And that guy's just wanting to put his hands everywhere, bro.
He's a billionaire,
was-
chief. It's gonna pay out for him eventually after with all the secrets and things that he's seeing. He's gonna benefit.
He's a trader.
Yeah. He is that guy. What other transfers happened? Anything? Hey, Villa is on
Guys, this window has been
Villa's
pathetic
on a-
for Big Six, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
City-
Villa, I think Villa,
City-
I think we have to.
Except
we
for
have to
City,
take
yeah.
notice. You have to take notice of Villa.
Yeah.
They've been busy, man.
Bruh, Asensio,
Yeah,
Asensio,
they've been busy.
Rashford, who else did they get? Disasi,
And they made the money back already by 70 grand.
and someone else. Yeah. Nah, they're
Yeah.
gonna. And imagine, bruh, if they get Rashi fit and firing, right? Because he's already signed the contract, so they've agreed a salary that they can manage, right?
Yes.
And they only have to pay you 40 to United. Because for United, it's about getting that massive wage bill off the books.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
imagine Rashford rediscovers his best form. They're gonna pay 40 million and they're gonna have a killer forward. And then they're just gonna
Yeah.
keep on pressing up. It's wild, bro.
I think
Monchi
I
is
think,
doing the thing, right?
I think Rashford is the type of player where this new modern football, where you want wingers to be tracking back and defending until they cough their lungs out, doesn't work for him. He's lazy. He doesn't want to do that. And Villa is that one of the few teams that just play with a pure out and out striker that just bangs. Like, I'm gonna get the ball forward quickly, use your pace, get on the end of it, finish. I think if they have him in that 9 and they don't require him to do all the defensive legwork like he's crazy, they'll get him to bang. Especially because the football is not, we're playing to your feet, let's control. No. They get the ball, they turn, they face the goal, they go direct. That might work for him. Hence why I'm saying that might be a masterstroke, because if there's anything I know about Emery, I mean, that guy got Lacazette and Aubameyang to have 71 goals across them in a season.
Yeah.
So something like that in all competitions. Like, he can get strikers to bang.
Yeah.
You understand? So I will not be surprised if Rashi goes there, he plays to his strengths, get the best out of him. Because let's face it, Emery is a world-class manager. He is.
No, he is.
Right?
He is.
I mean, Watkins was okay, and then he got there, boom, stock went flying through the roof. Now everyone wants him.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal, embarrassingly, 2 days before the transfer market closes, apparently the bid was actually 40 million. Apparently,
Yeah.
that's what I'm hearing.
And apparently Villa told them, they're like, guys, if you come with 60 million, then we can have a conversation and we can let him go. What do Arsenal do? They
40.
go back to their little conference, come back with 40
And
on a champion. A
this
few hours before a crunch Champions League game. On top of that,
Dog,
and then
and
they were like,
the thing that irritates me is all the media and all the press and all the news were like, Arsenal bid 60 mil. And then after the fact, we get the details and actually, no, we bid 40. And I'm like, you bid 40 mil for one of the country's best strikers 2 days before deadline
wild.
day. You're mad. They just sold Durant.
That's
Come
rude.
on, guys.
I'll never forget that 40 plus 1 for Luis Suarez.
Suarez.
Remember? Just like, hey, Arsenal brothers. So
Crazy to me, bro.
They had the fact they thought there was a release clause. The release clause didn't exist. They wanted to just put £1 extra.
At least do like 45, 49, something respectable. So we can say, okay, yes, there's no release clause, you thought it was there, but at least you're serious. Let's talk now. Talk. To know that 60 would have actually resulted in negotiation tells me all along that all of this was PR.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
They're just managing the image. Guys, we tried. You know, if you look at the profile of player, he's 29. How many more years do we get? Like, I'm not sure if you guys watched on Rio's podcast. Joe Bear was on there with Patrice Evra.
Yeah. I said this last
Patrice,
week.
yeah. Patrice Evra was like, guys, go get Ivan Toney. You win the league now, you sell him next season. And Joe was like, no, but you have to look at the way we structure our club. I mean, how old is he? Patrice Evra lost. Is like, Chief, you need to win the league now. Stop your bullshit. You need to win now.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Profile of player 29. How many years can you get your league now?
100%.
Yeah.
If yes, you buy him. You can sell him next season. It's fine. Van Persie, Man United.
Yeah.
You know
What happened? You bought him, won the league, and his career started going downhill from there.
And once you're a league winner, it becomes easier to, first of all, you get more prize money and all of that stuff, but then also to attract people. It's that much easier. So
now they're like, okay, Arteta, best young manager in the world. There's something happening there. Now there's a buzz. But no, not you. You want to go there, got out to and just say, guys, here's young 40.
Yeah.
When we know good and well that someone with 70 would have said, mine.
Yeah. So on that, and I suppose to wrap up, let's just go around. We know, LG, you're not happy with your transfer business. You guys, no outgoings as well, no? Just absolutely nothing.
So, we didn't recall anyone from loan, nothing, zero. And because we beat City 5-1, fans are going to ease off a bit. And then we're going to be humbled in 2 fixtures soon and be brought back to earth.
Yeah,
But like, you didn't even get rid of any dead wood or anything like that. Just like nothing.
We can't afford to, Chief. We've registered 23 squads. I mean, 23 players out of 25. We can't.
Sure.
They're on the bench. What are you going to do? Get rid of your bench. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's rough. It's rough.
Talk.
Your window is terrible, bro.
He better win this league or leave. Simple.
So the 40 million that they had, they were only planning to use it on Watkins, no one else.
Chief, there was a January where they bid 70 million for Vlahovic, and then they did nothing after Vlahovic went to Juventus. So the money's there. In fact, I'd even argue more than 40 is there. It's there.
Okay.
It's there.
Yes.
Chelsea, what's your window been like? You guys recalled, was it Chalobah who you recalled? Yeah. You recall Chalobah. Did you guys do anything else? Oh, you obviously loaned out Joao.
We loaned out a bunch of players, bro. Joao, Chilwell.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Chilwell. Yes.
Chilwell available.
Yeah, Chilwell went
his pocket's fallen.
Yeah, he's been excommunicated from the squad. He hasn't. Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, Maresca. First thing Maresca came, he found his group, and then he was like, "You other 25 guys, go find the club."
40.
Sterling was in that group. He was like, "You guys go make a plan because I'm not using you."
Wow.
Yeah, bro, it's been I'm not. The thing is, because we need a striker and stuff, I know that it would have been almost impossible to get a striker in this window. So I'm not mad at it. We could have done better. We got a midfielder at least. I hate the fact that it's another youngster, but at least we have some legs now in the midfield if Caicedo's tired or whoever. But yeah, could have been better, but hasn't been the worst window.
United. Let's talk United. There's some interesting thoughts here. Let's start with you, Clem. What do you think of our window? So let me recap it. So we loaned out Rashford. We
got rid of Anthony.
We loaned out Anthony. We got Malacia's pending, but he's basically out the door. And we got Dogu in. We got Heaven from Arsenal, and it seems like Heaven is going into the first team. He's not going into the under 21s or whatever.
Who's Heaven? I don't even know who that is.
He's your hell end guy.
Where is he?
He's a defender. When you guys played, the only time I've seen him was when we played in preseason. he played against us. That's the
You know
first
it's
and the
bad
last
when
time.
you take a youngster that I don't even know.
So,
He was apparently like one of your top. I get it. Him and Chido and whatever, they were like your next upcoming guys. So yeah, I mean, but
How
he's
old is
young.
he?
I think
17?
that's 17, 18, somewhere there.
Hey, you guys are first team, you say?
he's not gonna
Yeah,
play,
look,
right?
No,
but that's
I think he's just gonna train with them. I don't think he's gonna play necessarily. Yeah, but
How
now
much was he?
Leach is at 1.5. He was
Okay, it's fine.
yeah.
how long
Licha-
is Licha out for?
It's an ACL. He's out.
For the season.
He's out. Season done.
Yeah, he's done there.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's gonna be there for the beginning of next season. So he's just done.
And that, folks, is the power of an ACL injury, right? Which is what Bukayo Saka has. You're not the same after that. You're just not.
Except for Van
Not
Dijk.
the same.
Yeah, Van Dijk is the only guy who recently I remember came back similarly back to the same.
Yeah.
But everyone else,
Yeah. So yeah, sorry, Clem.
Yeah, sorry. Go for it.
Yeah. So what do you think of the window? Sorry.
Look, I think for United, it's just been sensible, eh? Like enough of the crazy transfer moves. I think if you talk about rebuilding from the bottom, I think we probably needed a window where we let out more than we brought in. So it's a good start, man. Got rid of some problem guys, and then you start building again from the bottom. That's literally what it's about, eh? I think you have to take the humble approach, man. You also have to get to the point where it's like, just because you have money doesn't mean you have to spend it, you know. So just because you can find a way to spend money,
we
doesn't
don't
mean
have
you have
money.
to spend it, man.
We don't have money though.
Listen, these men are serious. 41 points is what they're aiming for, eh? But like, what's serious?
Yeah.
You have to start building from the bottom, man.
A manager doesn't have his players, but they're okay with more outgoings than in.
But remember the problem
Rashford wasn't playing. He's not a loss. I'm gonna cry over Anthony.
If you say that the player is the problem, you have to go through a cycle of letting people go. You just have to get rid of
Yeah,
players.
but you need numbers up front, bro.
Yeah, but you can't just have numbers.
options.
You need to have the right kind of players. So
Yeah,
at some point you have to transition. You have to transition from what was to to make space for what's going to come.
Yeah, I think at this point, if there's a crisis, you just have to dip into the under 21s. It is what it is.
Or Arsenal's under 21s.
all that.
By
James, what's your take on the window?
flat. I'm excited about the wing back we got. I'm excited that we actually have Luke Shaw back. I'm sure he will be a new signing.
For 3 games.
Do Lasela.
You know that thing of Luke Shaw, when a new left wing back comes in, he becomes Roberto Carlos for
that guy, I promise you, he does it on purpose. Like literally, whenever we sign a new left back or like somebody starts going on fire or whatever, he'll just magically come back from his injury. And yeah, like James is saying, he'll be Roberto Carlos.
Why doesn't
Every
he play
single time.
Who's this? Where Licho was playing? Because he has played on the left side of the back 3 before.
Yeah. I think that's exactly where he's going to play. Because
Yeah.
I think his body can't handle the wing back story. He's gonna last 3 games and he's out.
Yeah, I would agree. Part of me just feels like, he's gonna be a new signing for us till the end of the season. Other than that, up front, I am so nervous because my mind just tells me that Amorim figured out that, hey, Mainu could play at 10. Next thing you know, hey, Mount is back, and we'll be back scratching our heads to say, guys, what is this guy's best front 3 up front? So, like I'll repeat again, Europa League, FA Cup, everything else.
But what's your whole thing though about the more outgoings than incomings? Do you like Clement was talking about the fact that we're clearing up and we're preparing for a rebuild in the summer, right? Apart, it's not going to be a full rebuild, but like just at least some decent activity to give this guy something to work with. Do you see it that way, or do you see it as we've lost Anthony, we've lost Rashford, we didn't replace them. How do you see it?
Look, if there was no value in the January window, it's fine. I think Tell would have been perfect, but when you see the numbers, it's good we walked away. Is there any other guy we could have got similar level to Tell? I doubt it. So
I've got a question. Is Tell better than Garnacho?
I would say potential, yes. I would
don't
agree.
know.
We don't know.
From what I saw, what I saw about him, it's that thing of, if I'm gonna put it very bluntly, he's more explosive. I know he's more of a number 9 than a winger, and he's more secure in position than Garnacho. Garnacho at times, it's that
he loses the ball. Oh, the guy loses the ball.
Yeah, he's free flowing, and if he can't be free flowing and has to think, problems. So that's why I would say Tell would have been probably better suited, because Garnacho is a free flowing footballer. He's not supposed to think too much.
Tell also though has those non-scoring striker tendencies.
Our strikers are not scoring, so
let's bring another one in who doesn't score.
anything. It's an
I think a lot of
improvement.
the hype that comes from Tell is because he's from Bayern.
That's
If he was
it.
from some smaller Yana team, no
one
one
would care.
would be giving him this much.
Yep.
He actually hasn't been starting much for Bayern since
Exactly.
Company came in.
Yeah.
Company
Yeah, I
just
remember.
kind of threw him away.
I remember when he came onto the scene, like there was a lot of noise around him, and like I think he had lips and stuff. But like this season, last season, I don't know. It's been.
It's what happens with every youngster when they get overhyped when they burst onto the scene. They just fade away and become average. And it's not that they're average because they're bad. It's because they're still kids. But because the patience is not there, the investment is not there, there's too much hype, there's too much everything, they just crumble.
Yeah, but guys, with Tell, from what I've saw, you have to just picture this. It's you're competing with Harry Kane. If you can't play in Kane's position, it's Musiala. If you can't play in Musiala's position, Coleman. If it's not Coleman, it's
Such
Gnabry.
Gnabry there.
The next thing is Sane on the other side, or the coach says, you know what, I want Muller back. Muller gives me something. So where is he going to play if he's not going to be given the chance? And unfortunately, Bayern or some such big teams, it's that thing of, if you get a sniff, if you don't make use of it, someone else is going to take the chance, and you're going to wait for another 3, 4, 5 games.
Where was he before Bayern? I think they bought him, right? He's not from the academy.
France. Is it? I forgot the name of the club, but it's a French club. Yeah, he didn't really play much League One football. He's still very young. He's like 19, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. He essentially didn't. But he essentially started his career at Bayern. Yes, he was playing before, but like he essentially really started his career. We'll see. Yeah, for me, I've been seeing a lot of fan reaction and stuff, and people are pissed. People are pissed off at Ineos and like Ineos out and like all of these things and like whatever. I think I'm more inclined. I'm more inclined with what Clement's saying. I think I agree with that. Like I think our problem is, yes, we're in a financial hole. Well, it's not a PSR hole, let's rather say, because of previous activity. So these guys, like we always say, we want to rebuild, and we can't keep doing the same things as before. We can't keep panic buying or splurging on these guys. And then when it actually happens, then fans, but you guys didn't get anyone. You should have just bought somebody. Fans are so fickle, bro. So like for me, it's like, I know we're saving a lot on Rashford's wages. We're saving a lot on Anthony's wages. Rashford is most likely going to be sold at the end of the season. I think his career is done. Anthony, I think realistically is going to come back unless we take an L. Hopefully Malacia's thing becomes permanent as well. And then I think we'll have a bit of kitty for the summer. So it's a good window, provided that they are setting us up for a decent summer. We know we're not going to overhaul in one window. We can't do that. But I think if Amorim at least gets 3 or 4 guys that are his, then I will start.
Which positions? Would you want him to start at these are the first 4 positions that I'd like you to cover, and possibly players if you're thinking of some.
Okay,
He
cool.
must start by selling Mount. Must start by selling Mount.
Depending on what purchase is, Chief.
Okay, let's just talk about purchases. We need a
Right wing back,
right
obviously.
wing back.
Yeah.
Right wing back.
Anyone you know of, you can think of?
Well, we're linked with Quenda from Sporting.
Couple guy. How much is that?
He's 17 years old, I think, or he's turning 18 somewhere there. I think it was 40 million euros.
Okay.
Somewhere there. Yeah, he's apparently a world-class talent, or he's like one of the kids that wants to watch. So we're linked with him. So I suppose it'll most likely be him. He knows the system. He's comfortable with the system. So we've got that Diogo Leon guy already coming for left back. So we'll have 2 left wing backs. So we need a striker, 100%.
Hoyland's down the drain.
Yeah, they'll figure out what they're doing with Hoyland. But we definitely need a striker.
Rasmus.
We need a number 6 or number 8. I'm trying to think. You probably need a number 6. Because Ugarte can't play the whole season. And it depends on what happens with Collier, though. Because Collier's coming up now into the game as a youngster. Yeah, he looks decent so far. So it depends on how he develops, whether he becomes the backup for Ugarte. Then I'd say get a number 8. Else we need a number 6. It's a priority. That's 3 positions. That's right wing back, striker, number 6/number 8, depending on how things go.
Mm-hmm.
And then we probably need a left centre back.
Because Licha can't play fit.
Licha can't stage fish. Luke Shaw doesn't exist. So yeah. And someone in a left centre back who can progress the ball as well. We don't have a lot of defenders that can progress the ball. Licha was one of them, so I don't even know what's going to happen now. So that's what I'd say. I could go on the list. We need a keeper, but I know we're not going to do that.
Why doesn't he play that Turkish sensation?
I think he's also by India. I think he's also got a clanger in him. He's got a clanger or 3 in him as well.
Yeah, which is fine. But I mean, at least have him have a clanger when he cost as little as what he did, as opposed to Anana, who we know has it for a fact. We know it's gonna happen. Like if 2-3 games is smooth, you know that 4-1 something's gonna happen. You just know it.
Yeah, but they paid big money for Onana, bro.
Yeah,
they can't just
I think it becomes that political thing. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I don't know, bro.
It's rough watching.
I don't know. There were rumors. I think they were saying that they might sell Bayendia because they're saying that no, he needs to be a starter and whatever. So they'd obviously replace him with someone decent, you'd hope. So we'll see how it goes. But I think it becomes difficult to sell Onana now and not make a loss.
Yeah,
so I
you're
think
going to make a loss no matter what. You're either going to pay him until he's last week of his contract, or you're going to sell him for a loss. That's going to happen either way.
Yeah, but for PSR purposes, I think it might be better to keep him on the books.
Guys.
Yeah, basically, in a nutshell, Hey, it's flames at Old Trafford, bro.
For your guys' sake, I hope Rashford is a hit at Aston Villa, because we've seen the pattern of Man United star boys. We've seen the Jesse Lingards, we've seen the Paul Pogbas, the Mason Greenwoods. So Rashford is in that tunnel at the moment. So hopefully he can turn it around.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so too. And I hope he rejects Villa, because if he does that, then we'll sell him for a higher fee.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah, but the problem is probably English clubs are best poised to afford him, right? Clubs overseas don't make that type of money unless if you're talking about the Real Madrids, Barcelonas, and the top teams. And I don't think they want him. No matter what happens, I don't think they'll want him.
No, Barca wants him now. They wanted him now.
Want him now.
Yeah, they wanted him, but they couldn't free up space in their wage pool. So that
Did
was
they even register all their players this time around?
So what they were trying to do is they were trying to get rid of Ansu Fati, because Ansu Fati is one of the highest. He's like number 3 or number 4 of the highest earning players, and he doesn't even play. So they were trying to get rid of him and then get Rashford in. But yeah,
I feel like they are lying in a sense that they can still get Rashford and then they'll struggle with registering him. And somehow via court, like how they got Olmo to register, they'll get him
Yeah.
registered.
but it's 4 months. Like, are you gonna? By the time he gets registered, it'll be like 2 months left, and then
No, these guys are very dodgy, Barca. Yo,
yeah, no, they are.
it's like they're
They are.
broke, but next thing they're signing players.
But they're selling everything. Sold the TV rights, selling this right, naming right of the stadium, selling whatever. So at the end of it all, like, what will they as a club own? Yeah.
Facts.
But anyways, gents, it's been a great show. Gonna put heated there in the title.
Yeah, hey.
Heated. Amorim's fault.
Amorim must fall.
You must clip that part, bro.
Yeah, I'll clip it. I'll clip it. I'll put it out. I'll put it out.
Can't believe it. Glory, glory, Man United.
I think that's the thing. I think we know. I know Clement is definitely like understanding, and I think James is there of like we need to be humble, like Clement has said. We need to be humble, and like I'm coming from a humble place now. I think you guys still have the vision of Man United that you guys knew. We're not those guys anymore. We're not those guys.
You're better than this, though. That's what I'm saying. But anyway,
We're-
I've been looking before the debate starts again. James,
Anyway, guys, comment, like, share, subscribe,
that's
all
it,
the
that's
things.
It, that's it.
At redcornerza on all the socials.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, keep
Yes,
it
sir.
locked.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Away.
Away.
Cheers.